Hello and welcome to this one-on-one sportscast. I'm Greg Brzezowski, and today I'm joined by Matt Curry and Eddie Case to discuss some of the greatest and toughest accomplishments in sports. Now guys, we all know that in sports, nothing comes easy. So Eddie, what is the toughest accomplishment ever in sports?
Well, I'm going to have to go with pitching a perfect game in Major League Baseball. Because not only do you have to have great stuff, you have to have perfect location, but you have to get a little bit lucky. I mean, every game you're going to throw 100-plus pitches, one of them's going to go down the middle of the plate, and they're going to hit it hard. It's up to your fielders to make a nice catch.
Well, I also have to agree on this one. Perfect game is the hardest accomplishment ever. There have been 20 perfect games in over 578,000 games ever played. Think about this. You can get to the 7th inning and have a perfect game. 8th inning, have a perfect game. 9th inning, and that last out can get you. It's just so hard. Those final 3 outs are just so hard to get, and that's why it has to be the perfect game.
I absolutely agree with you guys. Perfection is so unattainable by the human race, and it's so hard for us to come by that. But when those 9 players on that baseball field are able to achieve it, it's a very special thing. All right, now, another thing we've seen a lot in sports is countless great games played by numbers of great athletes. Matt, what's the one that stands out the most to you, though? What is the greatest single game performance of all time?
Well, I'm going to stick with Major League Baseball here. Reggie Jackson, one of the greatest, one of my favorite players of all time. Game 6 of the 1977 World Series, 3 straight home runs in 3 at-bats on the first pitch.
Wow.
And to win that game, pretty much the deciding game of the World Series. How can you get any better than that? It's the playoffs, it's the World Series, it's the greatest stage, and he did it right there and then.
I'm going to have to go with Wilt Chamberlain's 100-point game. Not only was it magnificent in that he scored 100 points, and any player scoring 100 points is a great thing, he shot the ball 63 times. When Kobe Bryant scored 81 points in 2006, he only shot the ball 46 times. That shows how special that accomplishment was. He went to the field goal line 32 times and came up with 28 field goals, 28 free throws. That's special in its own right. Wilt Chamberlain was magnificent.
Look, I actually have some problems with that. I think that's more of him hogging the ball than anything. You want to talk about an amazing basketball performance? Michael Jordan's flu game in Game 5 of the '97 NBA Finals, 38 points in 44 minutes when he couldn't even get out of his bed the morning before that. I consider that a little bit more important than a meaningless regular season game, but it is still an incredible achievement. Okay, moving on to our next topic. Matt, what do you think is a record that, in your opinion, will never be broken for the entirety of sports?
Well, it pains me to say this, but the Iron Man, Brett Favre, his consecutive games record, which is now 293 straight, by the end of the season, if he lasts, I don't even know. He's got stitches, he's banged up, everything. He could have 300, which is absolutely staggering to me. But the fact is, he's a quarterback in the National Football League. He takes hits every single game. He can be knocked down, he has stitches. I mean, any sorts of problems can happen to an NFL quarterback. And the fact that he can start every single one of these games in a row for 16 seasons, insane.
Absolutely unbelievable. Eddie, what's yours?
UCLA men's basketball 88-game winning streak. It will never be reached ever again. And the closest anyone's ever come to breaking that record was Indiana in '76 when they went undefeated for 1 season. That's the last team that went undefeated in a season, let alone from 1971 to 1974, consecutive seasons without a loss. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, but what about UConn women's basketball? They've definitely passed that. They're going to keep going with it now. Does that count for nothing?
Granted, women's basketball, it's a great feat, but in Division I men's basketball, one of the most competitive, leagues in the entire world, you got to go with UCLA.
Absolutely, definitely, both amazing accomplishments. But moving on to our final topic now, what is the one record in sports that you want to see broken, though? Eddie, start with you.
Tom Brady's touchdown pass record. Not only can I not stand Tom Brady, but to put it this way, the team was perfect. It's almost undeserving because even though Tom Brady's an excellent quarterback, one of the best quarterbacks of all time, you'd like to see it go to a player who was doing it almost on his own. Maybe I could probably go in there with that Patriots team and throw 60 touchdown passes.
They were talented. They were talented.
But I'd have to go with Tom Brady's 50 touchdown passes in a single season.
Now, who do you think could break that record, though?
I think that it's hard to say, but if I had to pick a couple quarterbacks, probably Aaron Rodgers. Maybe if you got maybe enough pieces around him, or maybe Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning's capable of anything.
All right, very good. Matt?
Well, my problem with that is that it's Tom Brady. He's an actual quarterback with great talent. My choice would be the home run record. Barry Bonds, 762 home runs. Baseball is just such a contaminated sport, and that is why I have to go with this. I want someone to do it the real way. No steroids, no problems like that. Albert Pujols is going to be the guy to do that.
Ooh,
He already
wow,
has
bold prediction.
408 home runs. Only needs another 10 or so years with like 30 more. But we've seen it happen. He could be, the Brett Favre of this game. But we need someone to do it the clean way. And until that happens, I need to see this record broken.
I'm sorry, Matt. That record's been touched too much recently. I need to wait like 30, 40 years before someone breaks it again. Not really a record, but I would love to see someone get a triple-double for a season, average triple-double in the NBA. Only Oscar Robertson's the only player to ever accomplish it, and I think it would be a stunning accomplishment and a record to be broken if it were to happen again.
Well, what about Rondo?
Rondo could do it,
He
yes.
get close this season.
He definitely, he's got to get his rebounds up. But I like what you're thinking, Matt. Okay, guys, well, thank you very much for coming on, but we are out of time. Thank you for watching this one-on-one sportscast, and be sure to check out our other webcasts, where we debate everything from NBA greats like Muggsy Bogues to the art of cup stacking. For Matt Curry and Eddie Case, I'm Greg Brzezowski asking you, whose side are you on?